Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep into a reality TV scandal that's really been grabbing a lot of headlines lately. It's a pretty tangled web of accusations and claims.
It really is, and for this deep dive, it's important to state we're working from one specific source, excerpts from an article called Reality TV's Unscripted Scandal, Affair, Assault, and Betrayal.
Right.
So our goal here is to guide you through the layers of claims involving Demi Engemann, Jessi Ngatikaura, and Marciano Brunette, but focusing only on what this particular article presents.
Exactly. And look, while it might seem like just gossip on the surface, this situation, at least as the article lays it out, raises some really fascinating and frankly serious questions about truth, perception, and how real reality TV actually is. Let's get into what the piece reveals.
Okay, so the article suggests this all seems to start, well, pretty subtly, almost innocently maybe. During the show, Vanderpump Villa.
Ah, right.
It mentions those simmering flirtations between Demi Engemann and Marciano Brunette.
Yeah, and the article points out that while nothing was, confirmed back then, there's apparently enough heat to raise eyebrows. It definitely notes that fans picked up on it.
Oh, for sure. Rewatching clips, speculating online about what might be going on behind the scenes.
That classic fan detective work.
Exactly. But then, the narrative in the article describes everything just exploding. This happens, according to the source, during the season 2 finale of Mormon Wives.
Okay, so a different show altogether, and the article says that's where the first major bombshell dropped.
Yes, and it came from Marciano, but maybe surprisingly, it wasn't actually about Demi at that point.
Yo.
Marciano took center stage on that Mormon Wives finale and made a completely unexpected claim about Jessi Ngatikaura.
Okay, Jessi, tell me about her role before this, according to the article.
Well, the piece paints her as, a married woman, a real fan favorite on her show, portrayed as a picture-perfect spouse on screen.
A fan favorite, okay.
And Marciano claimed that he had an off-camera affair with her, with Jessi.
Wow. Okay, so according to his claim in the article, this affair happened privately while she was maintaining this very different public image. What was the immediate reaction described in the source?
Chaos, basically. The article says the internet just ignited instantly, and there was a clear split.
People taking sides already?
Absolutely. Some viewers believed Marciano, thinking, well, why would he lie about something like that? But others were really skeptical.
Thinking he was just trying to get attention.
Exactly, fabricating the story for clout, as the article puts it.
Right. And Jessi, what did she do or say? The article seems to emphasize her response, or maybe the lack of it.
That's the key thing the article highlights. Her complete silence.
Nothing.
Nothing. No denial, no statement, zip. Just silence. And the piece really notes that to many observers watching this unfold, that silence felt very, very significant.
Okay, so that's one layer. Let's keep following the thread from the article because, just as everyone was trying to process that claim and Jessi's silence, the story took an even more serious turn, right?
It did. According to this piece, Demi Engemann re-emerged into the narrative.
Right.
And the article describes Demi's subsequent revelation as making Marciano's earlier claim about Jessi seem almost minor in comparison.
Okay.
Demi came forward and accused Marciano of sexual assault.
Wow. Okay, so the article reports a claim of assault now. This moves way beyond relationship drama. Does the article detail what Demi alleged?
Yes, it does. She claimed it happened during filming, at a time she felt vulnerable and had trusted him.
Okay.
She stated, according to the source, that she tried to speak up about it but felt like no one listened, that production allegedly looked the other way. And importantly, the article quotes her, stating very clearly that her silence at the time was never consent.
That's a powerful statement. So that's how the article presents Demi's accusation.
Yeah.
How does it cover Marciano's response to this specific claim?
The article states Marciano immediately and very emphatically denied it.
Just a flat denial.
Yes, calling the accusation completely false.
And did the article mention any counterclaims from him?
It did, yeah. According to the source, he claimed Demi was actually twisting the truth specifically to ruin his name, to damage his reputation.
So flipping the script.
Right. He asserted that he was the one being manipulated in the situation and maintained that nothing that occurred between them happened without consent.
Okay, here's where it gets incredibly messy, doesn't it? Because now, as the article presents it, you have these two starkly opposing stories.
Absolutely. Polar opposites.
How does the piece describe the reaction to this, the confusion?
It highlights that confusion, yeah. The article notes the lines are just completely blurred for many people. Fans are openly saying they just don't know who to believe anymore.
I can imagine.
And sides are being chosen, very fiercely online. Hashtags like hashtag Team Demi and hashtag Team Marciano are trending, according to the source.
And what about Jessi? She was caught in the middle of that first claim. How does the article describe her situation now, with this added layer?
Well, the article says Jessi, who was apparently once really loved by fans, is now under intense scrutiny. Like microscopic scrutiny.
People digging into her past?
Exactly. Viewers are apparently dissecting her entire online history. Old posts, photos, interactions, looking for any clues, any hint they might have missed about any of this.
Man, you can just imagine the chaos behind the scenes that the article must be hinting at, too.
Oh, the piece definitely confirms that. It mentions producers are reportedly panicking, legal teams have stepped in.
NDAs being looked at, I bet?
NDAs are under review, exactly. The article suggests the seriousness of Demi's claim, especially, is causing major internal disruption for the shows involved.
And didn't the article mention something else? Some whispers, adding another layer of intrigue?
Yes, that's a fascinating detail included in the piece. It talks about whispers within the industry.
About what?
Suggesting there is unaired footage related to all of this. And these whispers claim this footage could turn the entire story upside down.
Unaired footage. Wow, that really hangs over everything, doesn't it?
It does. And what's interesting is the article itself sort of steps back and poses these big questions directly to you, the reader. It really drives home the complexity.
Like what kind of questions?
Well, it asks, is this whole thing a carefully constructed publicity stunt designed for maximum drama? Or is it a real-life scandal genuinely unraveling in public?
Yeah.
And maybe most importantly, it asks, what's still being hidden behind the scenes?
The article makes it pretty clear the stakes are incredibly high here. This isn't just about, alleged affairs or hurt feelings anymore.
No, not at all. The piece really emphasizes that this whole situation is threatening reputations, potentially ending careers.
And could easily lead to legal battles.
Exactly. It could very well be heading towards significant legal action.
And the article kind of leaves you hanging a bit at the end, doesn't it? With a tease about what might come next in this story.
It does. It concludes by suggesting that the next episodes could change everything. Potentially revealing private messages, maybe unseen confessional interviews, or even, and this is the quote, evidence that may never have been meant for public eyes.
Chilling stuff. So, okay, let's just recap this deep dive into the article then. We've covered a really complex situation involving Demi Engemann, Jessi Ngatikaura, and Marciano Brunette, all based on this one source.
Right. And based purely on this article's account, it's a narrative that spirals pretty quickly. It goes from hints of on-screen flirtation
Right.
to a shock claim of an off-camera affair, which is met with silence from Jessi.
Then the really serious turn.
Then, a very serious accusation of sexual assault from Demi, which is then met with an immediate strong denial from Marciano, plus his own counter-accusations of manipulation.
And the article highlights the very different approaches these key players are taking right now, doesn't it?
It does. You've got Jessi, still silent according to the piece, Demi speaking out with her claims, and Marciano actively fighting back against those claims.
And looking at the bigger picture the article presents, this story really underscores the challenge, doesn't it? Trying to figure out truth versus claims in the public eye, especially inside the, let's face it, often manufactured world of reality TV.
Absolutely. It really forces you as a viewer to question how much of what you see is genuinely real.
Yeah.
How much is edited, how much is shaped by production, or maybe even deliberately manipulated.
Definitely. And the article leaves you with that really intriguing possibility, that final thought, that the full truth might still be out there, hidden.
Right, maybe in that rumored unaired footage or in whatever developments are still to come.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How the information you don't have right now, or the information that might get released later, how that can completely change the story you thought you understood.
Exactly. How does that promise or threat of future reveals shape how you perceive things right now? It's definitely something to consider as this story, as laid out in the article, continues to unfold.